Welcome back, everybody, to the Real Squad, and we are continuing the BEL review with episodes 6 and 7. Know we're a little late, but we here. So let's get right into it. Episode 6 pretty much picks up at with Lisa's mom's memorial party that's being hosted by Aunt Viv and the Banks family. And they do it every year. Lisa's mom has passed away over lupus, and so this is the party that they come together and raise money for lupus and come together for Felicia. I'm sorry, but yeah, things start to get a little crazy once we step into the party and we find out that we know Uncle Phil is running for DA. We also find out that Lisa's dad, who is the police chief, is also going to be running for DA. And he brings his new wife, Angela, who's white, to the party. And in the beginning, Lisa voices her opinion, saying that she doesn't really like Angela that much. And she feels like Angela is trying to force herself onto Lisa as far as trying to be a part of her life, when at the moment she's not ready to open up like that. And so there's more than a few interesting things going on in here. You also have Ashley, who didn't end up getting the girl that she liked. She did, try. I wouldn't even say try, but she almost tried. And then you have Aunt Viv, who was hosting the party, and it's also a silent auction going on too. And she's trying to step back into the art scene. And my man Reed, Michael Easley's character, is there also checking in on the art. And he wants to get her back into the industry. So of course he stumbles upon one of her paintings, one of her dope ones, and he tells her, like, look, if this thing sells for 15,000, you got to get back in the game. You gotta come mess with me. You gotta see if we can work something out and get you back into art. And she's on the fence about it, but in the middle of them talking about this, Uncle Phil walks up. And mind you, they're talking about this in a private room where the painting is at. And so I always like, the tension time. Uncle Phil is such a powerful character and a likable character, and so is Michael Easley. So when they clash, it's always fun to watch, but I love their little interaction. But yeah, so Reed ends up buying the painting for 15,000. Uncle Phil obviously sees that, and so he got to go over there and do his Uncle Phil thing. He put 20,000 down. Like, you can't outdo me, but I see what you're doing there, player. So they doing some real funny things in here, man. It's getting fun. You also have Hillary, who is supposed to be doing her influencer thing, but since her mom is kind of like, Aunt Viv is kind of like doing this at the last minute. I wouldn't even say last minute, but she's having a hard time putting the party together. And I think some people with the food might have catted off on her to the point where she needed Hillary to come in and help cook. And Hillary, being hecka cool, she's like, yeah, I stopped what I'm doing to come help the family out. But as she's doing that, Kylo, who is like the president of the influencer house, we could say, he is hitting her up like, look, you got a couple of hours to post and go viral before you start losing some followers. It's gonna go down like 3%. This influencer Instagram stuff is crazy, apparently. Yeah, you can't miss a day. And so she's kind of stressing out over that, but at the same time trying to be helpful and provide for her mom. And so it's interesting because by the end of the episode, it makes it seem like, oh man, she's really about to miss this deadline, and she's pretty much saying, forget it, I'm about to just hold it down for my family, I'll take this one L. But no, sure enough, she does shoot a clip in lingerie making some dessert. Now, you automatically assume, because that's how the episode ends, and you automatically assume that she posted it, but you don't know for sure. They just show you the clip. But before we move to episode 7, I wanted to mention that Carlton, obviously, the episode before told Will not to contact Lisa. Don't bother Lisa. Keep her out your life. And there's a certain point at the party where Will is talking to Lisa about Carlton, and he pretty much apologizes because he's been trying to, fall back a little bit and give her space, and Carlton. And she's like, see, this is the thing, man. I appreciate you, but this thing you got with Carlton and bringing me into it, try not to, because today is about my mom. And so Will, being Will, respected that and, comforted her. And Carlton saw that. And Carlton is supposed to be helping her with her speech. So that leads Carlton to go down the rabbit hole, I should say, and start sniffing Xanax as he does. And it's time to give the speech, and he's MIA, which leads to a very powerful scene, I believe. And this is Will going to confront him about the speech and why he isn't available. And he says, you up here getting hot. It's just crazy how the person playing Will can embody Will Smith in these certain moments. And the way he comforts Carlton, and when you think it's about to be like some real funk and beef because Carlton overheard the conversation, nah, man, he comforts Carlton and lets him know, like, look, dude, you don't even gotta come down. I'll handle it. Like, don't trip. And it's genuine. It's not on no sneaky stuff. It's genuine. And Carlton agrees. You know what I'm saying? So they end it cool right there. Like, yeah, I'll go help out with the speech. You just get better. So episode 6 was interesting, but it wasn't too much going on. But it was good character development, which leads us into episode 7. Whoo! So this goes into Carlton's party. So in the beginning of this episode, mind you, Will and Carlton have started to become cool. And with that, Carlton is starting to notice how much he doesn't really like his friends, specifically Connor, who makes a lot of racist and homophobic jokes. And they're playing lacrosse and they're in practice. And Connor makes another joke because Carlton's not playing as well as he can or should. And Connor's like, well, maybe they're not better than us in all sports, basically, saying that black people are not good in lacrosse. And that is like the straw that broke the camel's back for Carlton. So he ends up breaking his arm in practice, breaking Connor's arm, and they pretty much are beefing now. And he runs into Will Smith, and Will's like, what's going on? Carlton is like, man, Connor is pretty much turning the school against me. All my friends aren't really being cool with me no more. And so Will does the incredible again and is like, look, man, you Carlton MF Banks. We about to get this popping. We're going to throw a party. We're going to invite some girls, get all the guys. We're going to get it lit. And we're going to show them who Carlton Banks really is. And Carlton is like, I don't know, man. People already kind of know who I am. People just don't change. People just don't let people change like that. And Will Smith is like, look, trust me, I got you. And so this is what I really like about Will Smith's character, or I think it's Abari Banks. He is going above and beyond, I feel like, with his acting right now. And he's pulling me in. Hillary does go viral. So she does the lingerie video, but she didn't post it. But since she was in the influencer's house, everything gets sent to the cloud that's recorded and it's up for grabs. And Kylo, if he wants to, can put these videos out. And he did. But not only did he put her video out, he spiced it up a little bit with some edits and made it even more sexier than it already was. And so Hillary is tripping right now, saying like, this is not my brand, this is not what I'm promoting, and she wants to go holler at Kylo about taking the video down. And she shows mom is like, look, I know if you tell your dad about this, he will ride or die for you right now, but here's the thing, us women, let's try to do this on our own without asking for help. I know your dad always comes to your rescue, but know it feels better than being rescuing yourself. Which I felt that was dope. I'm like, okay, moms. And so Hillary is like, okay, I'm gonna handle this Kylo situation on my own. And then Uncle Phil has been losing money on the campaign, and so he needs more money. And so he uses his own money, which he doesn't discuss with Aunt Viv. But when he brings it up to Aunt Viv as though he's asking her for permission, the campaign manager slips up and says like, so should I put the money back into the account? And Viv was like, put it back? So you wasn't really asking me for permission. You was just asking to ask. You was gonna do it regardless. And I guess that was the straw that broke Viv's back, because now she's like, you know what? Do what you got to do. I'm officially about to start doing me. And she's going to head down to San Diego to an art festival, we'll call it that, to, start up her business and her career again. And she decides this on a dime. And Uncle Phil was like, well, you didn't let me know about it. And she was like, oh, now we letting each other know what we got going on? Well, now you see how it feels, basically. And so, but it wasn't as crazy, but, she threw it right back at him. But what Uncle Phil didn't know, and Jeffrey brought this to his attention, was that, yeah, she's going to this art festival, but guess who else is going to be there? My main man, Reed. And Uncle Phil ain't feeling that. So they ain't really holding or pulling no punches right now. And so, mind you, back at the party, Will is trying to do all he can for Carlton. He got it smacking. The party is lit. People came through. You got the cheerleader, the basketball team. Carlton's old friends ends up coming, and like they cool. It's not even no funk. Will try to pick Carlton onto a chick, but then this is where the problem starts. When Carlton was saying that he can't just change who he is, the girl was like, you're a lot cooler than what your rep says. And Carlton, like, oh, what does my rep say? Basically saying he's an Uncle Tom. And that puts him over the top, and he just wants to end the party. So he goes to his room, shuts everybody out. So it's like Carlton is going through it right now. Like he wants to be down, but he doesn't want to be talked down too. It's weird. He gets a text from his old partners who happen to come to the party, telling him that they're in the game room. He pops up in there. They like, look, bro, you and Connor got to squash this. He like, Connor. He turn around, Connor in the house. He like, what you doing here, bro? So I like this little interaction too, because Carlton is like, look, we can be cool if you stop saying all these racist and homophobic and hurtful things about everybody around us and just people in general. And Connor like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to keep doing me. You going soft. Everybody, let's leave and go to my house. And everybody's like, nah, you tripping, bro. You chilling with Carlton. So Carlton gets his power back. And the girl that he was talking to earlier sees that. So she gives him like a little nod, like he's starting to feel himself. So it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everything is seeming to be falling into place. Carlton then texts Will, like, yeah, man, I just told Connor, what's up, man? Where you at? Mind you, Lisa got to charge her phone. So Will takes Lisa to the room to charge her phone. And he even says, like, you need to charge your phone or you just trying to be nosy? And she says straight up, both. But it's interesting. This whole episode, it seemed like Will was more focused on trying to get Carlton in a better place. And Lisa was more focused on trying to get into Will's pants. Which happens. They sleep together in this one. And while they're sleeping together, Connor gets mad and ends up calling the police on the party. And right before Carlton is about to discover that Lisa and Will are sleeping together, the police pop up and he answers the door. And of course, him being black, they don't believe that it's his house. And so Lisa and Will got to come outside. Well, Will's already going to come out, but Lisa's coming out because her dad's the police chief and she can get them off the hook easily. But when she came out that room, man, that shirt was unbuttoned. That hair was sweated out. I'm like, no, Carlton's about to be hot. And for sure enough, she handled the situation. You got Will coming down the stairs right behind her, walking all slow with his t-shirt on, looking all raggedy. Carlton the whole time, as Lisa is like handling the whole situation, just staring at Will like, bro, we just got cool. And you gonna do this? So that was unexpected. And I loved it though, because I'm like, yeah. But hey, Lisa tripping. Like, Will, on a couple of occasions, tried to like take it back down to the party. Like, all right, you got your phone charged. You feel me? Let's get back to the party. And she was like, you know what? How about we just stay here? Like, girl, I know you see me running back and forth trying to deal with my cousin who's tripping right now. But yeah, Lisa handles the police. Everybody leaves. And the episode kind of ends with the three of them just kind of like stuck there. Like, oh man, what what now? You know what I'm saying? We came out the room, Carlton saw us. We was just cool. It's so awkward. And I got to give it points for that because I felt it. I felt super awkward. This show has been really, really impressive as far as the storylines and how they're keeping you entwined in them. They're simple, but it's always a little extra to spice it up. So, like I said, I am enjoying Bel Air. I appreciate you guys for interacting with me over Bel Air. It's been a fun watch, and I don't even know how many episodes this is. It doesn't even seem like it's about to end no time soon. Episode 8 could be the season finale, but if it is, it's definitely gonna be a season 2. But yeah, man, you guys, let me know how you feel. Comment below. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, please sub because we're trying to build this community up. But I appreciate you guys, man. It's been fun. It's been a real squad. Like I said, I got a couple of more movies review coming for you guys. And yeah, we'll keep it real with the real squad.